We stood by the fact that she's a proud Latina, her words. What I have deduced from reading about her is that she likes to do whatever she wants while ignoring the consequences, and then when it inevitably blows up in her face, she feigns ignorance. So let's just briefly go over some of Kat's most notable moments. In 2008, Kat's former boss, Ami James, claimed that Kat was anti-Semitic and had given him a signed photo with a pretty disturbing message on it. You are free to Google what it was. Kat claimed that it was forged because Ami was jealous that she had gotten her own show and that the handwriting analysis proved that it was fake. I'll let you make your own judgment on that. The basis of Kat's spin-off show was her opening up her tattoo shop, High Voltage. High Voltage was plagued with rumors that it was basically a tattoo mill and that the care you were seeing on TV wasn't what you were getting as an actual customer. They were also sued by a former employee who was going after Kat for wrongful termination after she raised concerns during the lockdowns of 2020. She said that Kat regularly questioned if the pandemic was real and that she opened the shop during lockdown, violating the state's stay-at-home order. When people asked about safety measures during the illegal opening of the shop, Kat said that she would not be wearing a mask and refused to. Even once the shop was legally allowed to open, she refused to comply with safety protocols and said that anyone who was uncomfortable with it could kick rocks. She also openly mocked those who chose to implement safety protocols for themselves. Which is a great segue into the anti-vaxxer claims. While pregnant with her son, Kat very publicly stated that she would not be vaccinating him and would be raising him vegan. People were mad. She could have easily not said anything and raised him however she felt appropriate in the privacy of her own home. Although, according to her publicist, Kat is vaccinated against COVID-19. In 2020, she sold off her shares in her makeup brand, but not because it came out that she had an Austrian designer create a lipstick for her called Selection, which was a practice used in German work camps in the 40s. You know what I'm talking about. Kat claimed she had no idea what this meant. I don't want to blame my ignorance on not going to high school, but I dropped out of high school when I was 14. I don't really know all of everything, you know? It's not like you can read books about these things or anything. It's not like my father dropped out of high school when he was 14 because he was forced to and went on to educate himself to the point where people thought he went to university. It can be done. She really did claim that selling her shares had nothing to do with this controversy surrounding the brand and that it had been in works for a long time. Now, this was the same year that she
cleaned up, found Jesus, things are good, also I hear.
Claiming that she realized all her occult interests hadn't been serving her. But in reality, she'd been completely abandoned by her previous communities for being the worst and knew that the church would accept her. But still, some Christians don't, and they let her know it. Love thy neighbor, you guys. She also started blacking out the bulk of her tattoos and throwing away all of her witchy books because they're so ew. And because I know people are going to bring up her husband. 1, he had a Buddhist symbol on his throat when they met that looked an awful lot like a different symbol, but you know, Jessie liked to wear that symbol too, so... 2, Raphael's daughter made accusations against him for allowing his friends to harm her in a very intimate way, and then abandoned her afterwards because of it. And of course, Kat came to his rescue, refuting all the accusations. But she didn't believe the Jessie stuff at first either, so... Most recently, Kat shared the video of her baptism while simultaneously releasing a single called Vampire Love with lyrics like, "Come on in after dark and recreate me, take me from the light and baby tame me, give me some of that vampire love." Claiming that it's about eternal love. It has a supporting music video that is a wee bit gothic, wouldn't you say? Just has a few occult undertones. The irony. Anyway, Kat is still renovating her Indiana mansion that she moved to because she was mad at California for all their laws and taxes. She did have to go back to LA when her mansion with the blood red pool wasn't selling, but now she's back in Indiana living in her church's parsonage like any good grifter. Sorry, any good Christian would.